BFs, welcome to my channel. This is Bodfash. So today's tutorial we are going to be recreating this style. This style has been circulating for a while now, but I'm going to be teaching you new tips and tricks, and one of them is how to make the skirt that I wore here without using the slash and spread method. Secondly, the top and skirt was altered from a basic bodice gown, and I'm going to be teaching you how to eliminate back bulge, how to do the butt contour, and so many other tips in this tutorial. Please stay tuned and watch to the end because you're going to be gaining a lot of knowledge from me today. Without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. So if you watch my previous video, you notice that I altered the same pattern to a straight gown. Now I'm just going to cut off that pattern into two the way you see me do. I will be cutting both the front and the back. And also in my previous video, you also noticed that I removed the dart, so there's no dart here though there's a dart line. So for the back pattern, I went ahead to remove the allowance I added for the zipper, because this fabric is a bit stretchy and we won't be requiring any allowance at the back for zip, or I won't be putting any zip at the back, but in case you want to do, please go ahead and do so. I want to alter this skirt. This is where the emphasis is. I'm going to increase the length of my skirt for both the front and the back, and I'm also going to take out my waistband. So the waistband for this skirt is going to be 1.5 inch. So as you see me do on the front pattern, that's the skirt block, I'm just eliminating 1.5 inch, which I will do for both the front and the back. For the front pattern block, 10 more extra inches will be added to it, and I'll give you more details in the course of this tutorial. So I have extended my skirt pattern by attaching an extra pattern paper to it and subtracting 1.5 inch from my waistband. What I have here is 42 inches. Now I want to remove some excesses at the back of my skirt. That's to avoid zipper bulge. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. I will also come down by 1/2 inch at the zipper area, that's the center back. I'm going to connect the 1/2 inch I came in by to the side back of the pattern block, just the way you see me do, and I'll go ahead and also connect the 1/2 inch I came down by to the hip line. I'll go ahead and cut it off. Now this is very important because it's going to help eliminate any bulge. You'll notice some skirts, some fitted skirt that you wear and there'll be a bulge at the back, even in corset. This is how to go about it to eliminate that bulge at the back and the waistline. While for the front, this front fold that you see in gowns and some skirts, this is how you eliminate them. I'm going to come down at the center front by 1 inch and then connect it to my sewing allowance and cut it off. This does not affect the waistband at any point. The fabric I use for this two-piece is called a rib fabric, and it stretches on both sides, and I use a total of 2 yards. While for my allowance on this skirt, I'm going to be reducing it to 1/2 inch. For the front pattern, I initially mentioned that I was going to be adding 10 inches. This is what I did. Because I've already sloped the front part of my skirt, I'm already short of 1 inch at the front. So what I will do is, at the allowance side, I'm going to go up by 9, 10, 11 inches, depending on how full you want your ruche to be. So this is how you add ruche to your skirt without doing the slash and spread method. And when you are cutting it, make sure not to curve it to the waist side. If not, by the time you make the ruche, you are going to have a shortage. I'll just go ahead and cut everything I have here. What I will use to curve this waist will be the back pattern block. Now I've also gone ahead to cut the back pattern block. I'm just going to notch the zipper side. I'm doing this because the center back and the side back are looking the same. So in order not to mix it up, that was why I notched it. Please do the same to yours. Let's go ahead and work on our front skirt. I went ahead to look for the midpoint and notch it. This is so that I will know where to place my piece of fabric. This piece of fabric is going to be like a channel while the rope is going to pass through for the ruched effect. That's where I'm going to drag to give it that ruched effect in front. So first of all, I'll take this piece of fabric to my sewing machine and sew the side just the way I'm demonstrating right now with 0.25 inches. I'll do that to both sides of it. Once I'm done with that, I'll come back and show you guys the result. Now I have sewn the sides of this rope or channel either ways, and I'm placing it at the midpoint where I notch initially on my skirt. So what I'll do now is this. I'm going to measure out the length I want, which is about 26 inches. So I went ahead to cut it off. Afterward, I'm going to introduce my rope, but before I attach the rope, I'm going to sew in between. I am going to stitch the midpoint of this channel just to have two different parts, and then I'll attach the rope. I made a stitch at the midpoint of this channel, and then I attached the rope to one side, stitch, and attached it to the other side. I also stitch. Another way you can do this is you could use your hemming gum to like hem it when you have stitch through the midpoint and then sew on it. Either ways, at the front part of the skirt I left 1 inch, and at that 1 inch I made a hole where the rope is going to pass through to the front, which is what you just saw me do. So guys, I've gone ahead to attach my zip to the back of my skirt. So because I like attaching my zip to my skirt band, I am going to leave 1.5 inch extra on my zip, so that by the time I'm attaching the skirt band, I will now connect that zipper to the skirt band. Now I went ahead to arrange the back skirt at the hemline to the front skirt. You see this part where the arrow is pointing? That is the part that isn't curved. So what I will do here is I'm going to use the rubber attached in front to drag and get a ruche. Then I'm going to make sure that the waist of my front and back skirt are aligning just the way you see me do, and I'll pin it. Right now I'm going to try and plait this front piece of my skirt so that it's going to be more stable and it will align with the back skirt piece. So I've achieved the ruche, and now so you understand what I am saying, I flipped it over and now I want to do the other side of the ruche. So I want mine to face upward at the right side. So what I will be doing is at the wrong side of my fabric, I'm going to be making the split to face downward. It's like a mirroring principle. I don't know if you understand. So this is what I am doing now. I'll arrange it carefully and pin it before taking it to my sewing machine to stitch on it with the sewing allowance I left on the skirt. At this stop, so what you do is that you're going to free up the front skirt waist, attach it, making sure that it is straightened, not minding the excess that you will get because you are going to trim it off. I'm going to show you this in the next part. Now this is what I am talking about. See the excess that we got, you just go ahead and trim it off. So I have gone ahead to sew with the sewing allowance I added, and this is everything you need to know. It's as simple as this. I also created holes at the front where I passed my rope through. We've created a ruched skirt without using the slash and spread method, and it is very simple. You can use this for any dress you want to make. Just add excess on the part of the dress you want to form the ruche, and it's going to give you a very perfect ruche. What is left for our skirt is just the band, and I'm going to keep that aside and work on the top part of our blouse or our two-piece. Now what I'm doing here right now is I'm trimming off the bulging I noticed at the bust point for the back block. I went ahead to mark out 1/2 inch, which is going to serve as my stitching allowance, though at the end of the day I stitch with 1 inch because this fabric is very stretchy. I went ahead to cut the fabric as I stated earlier on fold for both the front and the back. I added 1 inch at the lower part of this top. Now if you notice, for my front neckline I didn't come down by 3 inches, which is what I drafted initially. Instead I came down by 1.5 inches. Why for the back I also came down by half an inch approximately. I also made adjustment to the neck width of both the front and the back. So instead of 3 by 3 for the front, I went in by width of 2 and depth of 2.5. The back was a width of 2 and a depth of 0.5. So I'll take this to my sewing machine and attach it by the side and the shoulder, and then I'll come back and show you guys the result. So guys, I have done that and I'm just confirming. I told you this fabric is stretchy. Look at it. Even after sewing with 1 inch, I still have enough to fit a size 12. This strap is about 1.5 inch wide. I will use it as a bias to pipe my neckline, and I also cut my sleeves already, so I will attach the sleeve to the top and hem the lower part of the top. So basically that is all for the upper part of this top. And if you don't know how to cut a sleeve, please check my channel. I have several tutorials where I showed you how to cut a sleeve. I also went ahead to attach my waistband to the skirt. This is the final product of our dress, and thank you so much for watching to this part. And if you haven't done that yet, please subscribe to my channel, like this video and share with your friends and loved ones. I am going to be uploading more tutorials on this channel with a lot of tips and tricks. If you're interested in content like this, please like this video and turn on notifications so that whenever I make a post, you'll be the first to be notified.